ever since I started this YouTube channel and started posting things about Warhammer versus other games, I've been always hit with the same thing. Lots of people out there want a company that competes with Warhammer. And they don't want it because they hate Warhammer. They want it because they like Warhammer. But they want companies that are out there that can compete with it to drive down prices, to make Warhammer think about their customers, to make Warhammer the company that it used to be 30 years ago. And I'm happy to say that I think there are a few companies out there that are right on track to do that one day. And all they need is your support. To be clear, this episode isn't a Smash on Warhammer episode. This is a pro Warmachine episode. And I've got a bunch of reasons for that. Because if we're looking at a threat to Games Workshop, it's not going to be a company that's like Games Workshop. It's going to be a company that has the things that Games Workshop is missing. So, what does Warmachine have that Games Workshop is missing? What does Infinity and Malifaux have? Well, stick around. I'll do the other videos on what they have that makes them different and also makes them incredible. But today, we're going to be talking about Warmachine. And specifically, we're going to be talking about this guy, Matt Hart. Now, most of you probably don't know who he is, but he is the co-founder of Steamforged Games. And Steamforged Games is the company that now has the rights to Warmachine. And now the whole reason that I thought about making this video was because of all days Valentine's Day. Now that might sound really weird, right? But the reason is because Matt shot out a message on Valentine's Day and said, "Hey, I'm going to do an AMA on Reddit. Come hang out." Okay. And first off, I just think that's cool. I think anyone who's willing to go out there and answer questions and do things like that, especially on a holiday, right? Cares about the community, cares about the game, cares about the people involved with that. And that's the number one thing that I'm going to talk about that sets Warmachine apart. They care. The same love and devotion that went into Warhammer 30 years ago is present in Warmachine today. And you can see it. You can see it in the way that they talk to the people that want to play their game. You can see it in their Discord channel, how active the Steamforged Games team is in that channel and talking to people. They are everywhere. And it is amazing to see and incredible to behold and watch this company that, let's be honest, a year ago was struggling and had been struggling for many years prior to that. A company that in its heyday was called the only competitor to Warhammer. Once upon a time, Warmachine was incredible during a time when Warhammer was not. And that caused this shift in the balance that, as we now know, Warmachine didn't handle very well, and Warhammer found their voice again and found what the people wanted and started catering to people again. Which, if you think that they still do that, I would love to know. I would love to see in the comments below. I am not seeing any of this interaction. And I follow content creators who all speak about how poorly Games Workshop is. And everywhere I look, it seems like that heart, that caring for the community just isn't present. But maybe I'm wrong. And if I am, I want to know. I want you to tell me. Let me know in the comments below. Show me where they are just active in the community and helping. And I'm not talking about painting or promoting their products. I'm talking about high-ups in the company that are talking to you and me. Now, those of you who played Warmachine a long time ago and had everything fall apart and you feel like you can't use your models or anything anymore, guess what? Every tournament that I have seen has legacy going on too. Events where people bring their old miniatures. The Discord is filled with people painting new armies at the same time as others are painting their old armies. It's fantastic. Check it out if you don't believe me. I'm going to put links to as many of the things as I can think of below. Okay. But if you're worried about the state of Warmachine, let's talk about it. In the AMA that Matt Hart did on Valentine's Day, he said the following. Regarding production and distribution, Steamforged Games has significantly increased capacity. Keep in mind, they've only had this game for about 8 months now at this point. North America is producing at 5 times its previous output, and Europe is now online with similar capabilities. Supplying both core game models and Mini Crate expanding into new markets like Australia has been a key priority. The next steps involve maintaining a robust pipeline and transitioning product lines into HIPs where sensible. And obviously HIPs is just the type of plastic that they use. Everything is moving forward. They're growing at a rate that they are just happy as can be about, which is also in that AMA. I'll link it below. It's fantastic. There's a lot of stuff in there. Take a look. So production is going up and it's going around the world. It's getting to the point where shops are going to start carrying it again. And I know that's something that people worry about. Now, P3 Paints, their paint line, guess what? The Kickstarter funded, it crushed it, it did great. They are putting it back in stores. They are selling it to stores right now to get them prepared. I think it's April that they're going to actually launch that. Again, I asked and they answered. Okay. The lore, something that I care about a ton, has not been the most accessible, and they know that, and they're making plans to change that and making it more accessible. The lore is something that I am just huge into and I love about this game, and I think it's incredible, and I think there's so much that they have to offer with it. So if you're worried about Warmachine as a company, don't be. They're doing just fine. Another thing that people have been super worried about is 3D printed models. And I think this is super funny because if you go into the Discord and you talk to the people in the Discord, people are super divided because some people love the 3D printed models. They love not having to assemble a model. They think it's great and they prefer it over any other method. Whereas some people are just like, man, I hope they go to plastic, which as I read in that comment, they are moving over to plastic where it makes sense. So the 3D printed models, they're great. They're good quality. I've done videos on them. The plastic models, well, the plastic models are awesome. This is from their new 2-player starter set. That is amazing. And I'll be talking about that maybe a little later and painting that in upcoming videos on this channel. So if you want to see more about the 2-player starter set and painting some Warmachine models, hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. Hit that little bell, it'll notify you when I post videos, and I'd love to see you back. Warmachine is amazing. It's not the only thing I talk about, but it's awesome and it's fun, and it's one that I really like to talk about and I really like to paint. So hopefully you stick around for that. And the thing that I want to talk about when it comes to quality, Warhammer is known for having the best quality on the market. But do you know what the problem with that is? Simple. Everyone else is getting to that point too. And pretty soon, all the models are going to be the same. And if they don't have quality, what do they have? Think about it. And the last thing that I want to talk about as far as what Warmachine has that Warhammer doesn't. And of course, these things could all change. Warhammer could change. I mean, maybe, right? Anyway, I talked about this in my last video. It is very hard for a new person to get into Warhammer. And if they do, it's not generally because they were like, oh, I found a cheap set, or oh, I'm going to get into this game because I love the rules, or it looks fun. It's generally because somebody, you, yes, you, who plays the game and loves the game and wants people to play with them, pulls someone else in. And let's be honest, we all want to do that. We all want to pull people into our games. One of the things that these companies all have in common that I want to talk about is that they have 2-player starter sets around that $100 mark. So for $100, you and a friend can get into this game. Okay? The new 2-player starter set, Shadow and Scum, $100. Comes with 2 armies, the the Chimera, which are basically robot dragon people, and then the pirate trolls on the ocean, which are just fantastic. These sets are great, and they're an awesome place to start, and they have 2 of them now, which means there are 4 factions that if you like one of those 4 armies and you can get a friend to spend the other $50, you can get into this game for $50 potentially. And what that means is you've got a small unit of models that can be used in an army if you decide to keep going, which is the coolest part. You don't have to buy this and just throw it in the trash. It's not some combat patrol full of useless items that you're never going to use. Okay? It's a good unit. And one of the things that I love that Matt said in that AMA as well is that they're gamers too. And if they find something that's wrong with one of their packs, like, oh, you can't get the weapons that you want unless you buy 4 of these, well, let's change that and make it so that you can get what you want, because ultimately they care more about you playing their game than buying 4 of the same box just so you can have a better army. They want you to have fun. They want you to enjoy their game. They are transparent. They are letting us know what they're doing every step of the way. They've got roadmaps that consistently come out. They are telling us about their game because they want us to be part of their game. And that is what I think is the biggest threat to Games Workshop. At least when it comes to Warmachine. And there are other threats from other games that are awesome and incredible. Like I said, Infinity has stuff going for it that is just amazing. So stick around, like and subscribe, come back to the channel. We'll talk more about it. We'll talk about these minis. We'll paint, because here at Pulsegate Games, we are all about making your tabletop experience the best it can be. And part of that means that it's a fun, engaging thing that you want to be part of, because that's what it's been for me. So stick around, and as always, don't spend so much time building your world that you forget to spend some time in it. Until next time.